Hi guys,
Hi.
welcome back. I am Allie.
I'm Amy.
And we are Lostourneedles. If this is your first time here, we are a YouTube channel that talks about our cross stitch and usually a book or two.
Yes.
If you are returning, thanks for
coming back.
Yeah, thanks for keeping up with our crazy.
It's a beautiful spring day here in Arizona. I think it's going to be low 70s. It's warm in the sun, cool in the shade. It's a perfect day in Arizona.
So we were on about 3.5 weeks ago. What's been new for you in the last 3.5 weeks?
I had a kidney stone last week. Not the first time I've had them. This one was relatively easy. Compared to my last experience with kidney stones. This one in the big picture was easy, but it's still not fun. But it passed relatively easy this time. Just needed a little relaxation and lots of fluids. And other than that, we had friends visit from out of town.
We did.
Stitchy friends.
Yeah.
So remember when we were at Stitch West, we met some really neat women. There were a lot of neat women, but there was a group in the table next to us that Raquel just was reaching out and just kind of became our little Stitch West mentor.
Yeah.
Mom, whatever you want to call her. She's a beautiful woman. And then we got to know some other women at the table, and they came down to go visit the attic a couple weekends ago, I think it's been now. And so we were able to meet with them. It was Raquel, Stephanie, and Emmy. Hi, guys.
Hi.
And I went to the attic with them. Allie was in DC at the time, or just coming back, and she was exhausted. So there was no way. You'd only gotten 3 hours of sleep?
Something like that.
Yeah. So I joined them at the attic and bought a couple things.
Of course, as one does.
As one does. One cannot leave the attic without buying something. And then we met them for dinner the next night.
Yeah.
They went to QuiltCon, yes. And so they got to share their day at StitchCon and pictures, and it just sounds like an amazing time. But so that was fun getting to spend some time with them.
It was
They're
really nice.
they're such, you laugh, you cry. I mean, it's just, they're neat ladies. We didn't cry, but we did a lot of laughing.
Yeah.
And I'll share something about that later in the hall. So
then I got the stitch bug back, guys. I have a lot of stitching to share with you.
She's been making up for lost time.
But so shortly after we filmed our last Flosstube, me and 2 of my coworkers took 19 students to Washington, DC, and we brought all of the same 19 students back with us. So that trip was successful.
No trips to the ER this time?
No trips to the hospital, no surgeries.
No lost backpacks?
No lost backpacks, no lost computers, no sick room visits.
Yay.
It was uneventful. We got to meet with Senator Kelly again. I got to do a tour that followed the path of John Wilkes Booth after he assassinated President Lincoln. That was fascinating. Apparently there's a Apple TV show that's based on the book that this tour was based on. So they took us to all these really cool places that
including running down the middle of a very busy road.
Yeah, we ran down a highway and crossed a highway to get into the median, because what used to be the farm where John Wilkes Booth was shot at is now a highway, and where the tobacco barn was that he was in when he was shot is now in the median. And clearly people have been going back there because there was a chain blocking off the path. So we are historians. We are going to follow the history. So we jumped the chain, we followed the path, and there's a sign that's like a federal offense to take anything from that place. And that's about the only way that you know that was the location where the Booth was shot.
Was this a guided tour?
It was guided by a close-up employee who his job is to do the research for this teacher program and give teachers the tours.
Okay.
So it was just a lot of fun.
You weren't jumping chains and violating federal law under your own guise.
No, Joe was guiding us and doing it weekly with history teachers. But it was really cool because we got to see the Surratt Tavern. We got to see the boarding house in DC where everything was planned. We got to see the mud house that is still like same banister, same couch that Booth would have first laid at, like the same. Some of you guys might have seen the selfie that I posted on our Instagram. That was the same mirror that John Wilkes Booth would have used. So I could nerd out. It was just a fantastic week. We got to see the Senate vote to confirm Patel.
Yep.
For the FBI, which, politics aside, whether you like him or not, it was really cool being in the chamber watching it happen.
To see the process.
Yeah, and just seeing how casual it all is. Like, there were so many people just thumbs up from the doorway, or they'd like walk through to go say hi to someone. They're just like,
yeah.
And like, that would be their voting.
Which surprised you how casual it was.
It was a little disappointing, to be honest. Like, that's our government, and like, that's how like casual some of this is. Like, not everybody's in the room at the same time. Some people never even walk into the room. But it was just really cool to get to see. We spent like 10 minutes in the Library of not Library of Congress, excuse me, the archives. So I got to see like all the founding documents in about 10 minutes because we had to get back to our hotel where we were meeting the students. But it was just fabulous. And then, but coming back, it was getting ready for end of the quarter. So trying to make up all the work that students turned in while I was gone, all the late work that I get at the end of the quarter. So the last couple weeks has been pretty busy.
Pretty intense.
But good. Like, it's just kind of the busy that you expect. We did the Arizona Stitchers meetup yesterday. And so getting to talk to some of you guys came up and said hi, and that was lovely.
So hi back.
Hi back. And it's fun getting to hang out with other Stitchers.
Yep.
So, I feel like there was something else going on, but who knows what it is. But we just had church this morning, and it's like, we love the people that we serve with, and
we're not helping people figure out where to go and how to get there and how to do it and get in the system. It's fun talking to people and getting to hear their stories, and we're people. Yeah. So,
and I just love like our pastor's message. So if you're looking for a church in East Mesa, hit us up. We have a recommendation.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you got to fully finish. Why don't you show us our fully finish?
The first fully finished in a long time. So, it was the Robin Given spring pattern, the Robin. And I wish I could take credit for all the finishing pieces. But she did a combination with, I can't remember the company that did it. I tried to look it up and she doesn't show it on her patterns.
Is it Paisley and Polka Dots?
It might be Paisley and Polka Dots, or it was the one out of Texas.
Lady Duck Creates.
No. Anyway, so she has the finishing pieces for all four, the spring, summer, fall, and winter. And so I purchased them all with the intent to finish them all this way because I really like this. This taupey gray works great in my house, matches the floor. So anyway, I wish I could take, all I had to do was this piece right here, which
looks marvelous.
I'm learning how to get them on there. So I still watch a lot of videos, but that's okay. So anyway, that's my fully finish. And then just since I'm already talking, I'll just bore you a little bit longer. Sorry, I know. Well, anyway, doesn't matter. So I think our last one I had started the summer one, the Blue Jay. These patterns, I love them. And so they go really fast. So this is the Blue Jay. She is finished and I just need to give her a quick wash and then get her mounted on her board, which has a blue background. And so when summer's officially here, then I will put away spring and put out Mr. Blue Jay.
And by summer, she means when it hits 100, not an actual time of the year.
Well, I'm going to put it up in June, like June 21st, whenever summer's officially here, is because you can't go by temperatures down here. Summer will be here in 2 weeks. So anyway, I love her patterns so much. The colors, the joy, they make me happy when I'm stitching them. So I've become a huge Robin Pickens fan, yes.
What bird is their winter bird?
A cardinal.
That would be really pretty.
And then the fall one is like a crow, which you expect with pumpkins and
pumpkins and witches and whatnot.
Scarecrows, anyway.
Wait, what was that?
The crow sitting on the scarecrow's head. Anyway, so I'm gonna not do the fall one yet because I have a couple other things I'm working on that I'm excited about until maybe middle summer. Then I'll whip out the crow.
When you're dreaming of it cooling off.
Which will be June 1st. I need to find a place to get out of the summer heat, but I don't want to spend the money. I'd love to find, anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. A beach.
Some beach somewhere.
Some beach somewhere. Isn't that a country song? Some beach somewhere?
Pretty sure it's Kenny Chesney.
Okay.
Or Jimmy Buffett.
Anyway, so those are my FFOs.
FFOs and finishes.
So I'm good.
Okay.
What have you managed to finish since we last recorded?
So, I'll do my two, like, my finished for nows and my progress. So, I started this first one last on June 6th for the 80th anniversary of D-Day. I started the Primrose Cottage Quaker.
Turned out
And
so nice,
I finished that, and then instead they had 1776 for the year, and so I did 1944 since I did it for the
D-Day.
hashtag honor D-Day Sal 2024. So I'm just really, this is what I took with me to Washington, D.C. So I had about 2 5-hour flights that I was mostly working on this. And then there was one night I was like down at the bar just working at it while talking with my coworkers and
just kind of downtime.
Yeah. So, and then I only had a little bit when I got home. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's on Caramel Macchiato by Fabrics by Stephanie on the Lugana. So sometimes in some lights it almost looks like an orange creamsicle, but I'm really liking how it shows up on the light.
It doesn't look creamsicle in real life.
So
I don't.
Anyway, so I'm really happy with like the
Maybe, but it turned out
1944,
really nice.
And it was even more cool because I was teaching World War II and had just showed a video that talked about D-Day that day in my class on the day I finished it. So
very cool.
So kind of well-rounded start and finish.
So finish number one,
and I have the finishing kit from Primrose Cottage. So Mom and I are gonna pick a day and we're just gonna have a finishing party because I have a whole table in my craft room, study, multi-purpose room where I have about 4 or 5 finished stitches.
Yeah, and
that
I have
need
3 or 4.
Yeah, so we're gonna.
But it means going to a fabric store too, because I haven't gotten the fabric for my Zuka yet. That's going to be the first thing I finish.
Yeah, and then my next one is a finished for now, but I'm doing all the pieces in the series on the same cloth. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a finish. It's the Country Cottage Needleworks Sugar Plum Sweet Shop from the Nutcracker Village.
Turned out so cute.
And I did all the called for colors with this, except for where it says sweets and her eyeballs. It was supposed to be like a brownish black DMC 3371 or something. But I didn't have it, and I really wanted, like, my goal was to finish this while we were at the Arizona Stitchers.
Yeah.
So it's like a dark bluish
like
color.
navy.
Yeah. So I like it. My dad kind of had darker blue eyes too, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Yep.
But yeah, so I really like this. A lot of people were asking about the fabric yesterday because it's this really cool metallic.
It's got metallic
linen
threads running throughout it.
And like they kept asking, oh, like, was that a pain to stitch? And in all honesty, the snowflakes, yes. Because the white with the light bouncing off of the metallic, it could be hard to spot your stuff.
Your hole, your
yeah.
entrance, exit.
Yeah. Just in counting and stuff. So I'm sure if I look too closely, it doesn't look great in some places. But the house itself, like once you got going here, it was fine. Like I had a lot of fun stitching. I'm realizing I like stitching houses between the Halloween one I did of Emily Calls. So I'm excited to start the next one. I don't know when I'll start it because I have the full set because someone was beautiful and gifted it all to me. But this one's finished. Maybe
when it's really hot and you're dreaming of winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe like a Christmas in July sort of thing. Because then I could have 2 done by Christmas. But like this person who I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. But like gave me the called for fabric with all the fabric to do the village on.
That was so sweet.
So that is a finish as of yesterday. And then for all of you doubters out there, none of you voiced your doubts. I'm just sure some of you are talking to the TV being like, yeah, right. She'll finish a president when I see it. I'm working on the US Presidents by Cloud Factory. And it's actually really interesting. So we got a shout out from Carolina Stitchers because Joy is doing this stitch too, and it came up on her Whip Go. And she noted that my pattern has like these stars down here. Hers is more centered to have like no extra spaces for future presidents. So they've actually changed like where the pattern around a little bit.
Oh, good.
To leave room.
For at least the next few presidents.
Yeah. So I've been working on that. Last time we talked, I think I had most of Washington done. I finished Washington that night before the video actually posted, or by the time the video posted. One of my New Year's resolutions was to stitch one president a month. So I would have at least 12 done by the end of the year. So I'm gonna try and be creative with this. I have Washington.
1,
I have Adams.
2,
and I have Jefferson.
3.
I haven't done the back stitching for Adams or Jefferson yet. But I'm happy. They're just such like cute little dudes.
They're cute little dudes. And they surprisingly look different considering they're little dudes.
Right, like if you look at this, like
You
Adams
can see
looks like
who they are.
yeah. So I really like, I think somewhere I messed up the count going from down here. So I need to do like going from president to president over. I'm not sure from the top down, I'm like a stitch or two off or something.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you keep it consistent.
So I noticed that trying to start Jefferson because I want all their feet to end at the same place. So like they're standing on an invisible platform together.
Yeah.
So
those are really cute.
I have March's president done. I might try and do like 2 presidents and get a little bit ahead.
Are they done though if you haven't gotten their names on them?
Fine, I'll do that too.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Are they done if you're not done?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
I have the president stitch, but I even have like a little bottle of Prosecco with, I took markers to it with 2 of my goals for the new year. One is like get our France trip paid for, and the other is stitch 12 presidents. And so when I have my 12th president stitch, I can open the bottle of Prosecco and celebrate. And then I'm gonna do another one for read my 12 nonfiction books.
Okay.
Celebrate the little things in life, you know, guys. So those are my finishes / whips. I have like a true whip.
Well, then go ahead and do your whip.
I've just been talking for a while. Time for your turn.
Okay, so I'm kind of taking a break from Robin Pickens, who I've heard, anyway, I'll tell that story in a little bit. So I guess I do have another whip.
Planes are going crazy today, Mom.
Works in progress. So I have 2 works in progress. So the first one I'll share with you is, you know, my birthday stitch is the Aphrodite by Mirabilia. And I kind of struggle with her because there's so many colors and such frequent color changes that I'm discovering I struggle with that. And I think it'll get a little better, but right now I'm doing her hair because, and I hadn't done a lot the last time I talked to you, even though we started this in December, but I worked really hard and I got her hair almost done. There's just a couple more strands in here and then her hair will be done. And then I get to start working on her body and I can't wait to get down to her tail. So I know it doesn't look like anything right now, but that is her hairdo and she's got a pretty shell hair ornament up here. I still have to do a lot of the back stitching that there is, and the beading I'm not going to do. I've been told to not do the beading till the end because it could interfere with the holding her taut with the hoop, the nurge hoop. Yeah. So the beading will be the last thing I do at the end. So anyway, I'm really excited about it. I just know I'm learning about myself doing this, which is good. I'm not a patient woman. I kind of knew that. And then because I love flowers and so I found this. Oh,
that's the pattern.
Yep, sorry. Thank you. She's my police. This is a horrible picture of it. If you look it up on Etsy, my ink is being weird, so it printed weird. But it's by Crocette a Gogò, and it's her summer poppies. This looks gray here in the picture. It's like a cream tan sand color kind of thing. But anyway, I love poppies, and in my kitchen I have 3 shelves that I keep glassware on. The top shelf is empty because it's 9 feet, 8 feet up there, and I don't want to go up there to get glassware all the time. So I keep a seasonal decoration up there. So right now I have a picture up there with poppies on the seaside. So I thought, wouldn't that be cute to cross stitch up there and have a little display up there with that on it. So this, I've started it. I'm just going to use the called for floss. There's a lace. I don't know if it showed up. Well, I can't show you the pattern, and it didn't show up in the print, but there's like a lacy border all around it. So that's my least favorite piece of it, even though it's pretty and it needs it. So I'm doing the lace first to get the yucky stuff, not yucky, but you know, yucky stuff done. And then I'll start working on the flowers. But anyway, I'm really excited about that. So,
do you have the floss? Cause like I saw the colors, it calls for like a burnt orange, and your picture definitely showed up like pink. Do you have the floss for the poppies?
In my bag.
Okay.
But they're really pretty orange, and then deep greens, and yeah. And then did I bring it over here? No, I didn't write down this is Zweigart fabric, I think, it's a 32 count, and it's called Flax by Zweigart Linen. And I love that. The white, it's dark enough that the white shows up, but not so dark that it's dark. So it's for me, it's one of my favorite neutrals to use is this color. It's just dark enough the white shows up, but
yeah.
Anyway, so those are my works in progress.
And we have 20 needle minders right now. I love it.
And then I haven't worked on my pirate ship, but I know there's a group of like 8 or 10 women out there that started a stitch along where they're all working on the pirate. So they'll probably be making much faster progress on it than me.
It's like cross XC, XS, like I always read it Santan. I don't think it is Santan, but I think I've talked to her on Instagram before, but she's working on it right now and showing her progress.
There's a group of them, so I should probably push myself to work on that a little bit more. Today I'll do it. I'll work on it today.
She got a little burnt out on the pirate ship after working on it for 3 days at Stitch West.
Yeah, for 8 to 10 hours a day. It was just like, and we're done. But now I kind of want to get back to it and start making progress on it. But that means having 3 projects at one time, and I just, oh heavens, lordy. We were talking about that at Stitch West yesterday. Are you a monogamous stitcher? And then no, I can only do one at a time. And the woman across the table from me, she goes, I think I have like 50 projects started. And I looked at her with horror. It's like, I think I'm crazy having 3 started. And I know everybody's so different. It's kind of fun to hear how many projects.
I think I have 5 or 6. Because I have the April showers one from last year.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just 50. How do you, it just depends on the mood, depending on my mood. And it's like, I can't choose between 3.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all personality. I think it's awesome, but I'm horrified at, I'm horrified at myself.
She's like, I'm a monogamous stitcher. I was like, no, you're not. You have 3.
Yeah, but I'm kind of one that works primarily on one, but I need to, anyway.
So I do have one new start / whip / almost a finish. I can't show you the picture because it didn't come with one. But it's Emily Call's Lucky Leprechaun. And I put on Instagram like a vote between a ginger root fabric that was more neutral and the Lucky. And I will say, I think the Lucky showed up really bad in the picture. So ginger root won, but I pulled the stitcher's prerogative.
But mom's choice won.
Yeah. So I did it on Lucky by Forbidden Fiber.
And it's so cute. He's so cute.
Yeah.
He's an adorable leprechaun.
So all I need now is the pot of gold. Now, the pattern does call for a bunch of flowers.
And all the kind of empty spaces around him.
Yeah. And I don't think I'm going to do the flowers. Because if they were shamrocks, maybe. But I'm just not feeling the flowers right now. So I'm going to put the pot of gold next to them and call them a finish. But I started this like a week ago. And just having so much fun stitching on it.
Those little things are so, when you need a break from a big project, they're just so fun to do.
But I'm not a huge, we're not a huge St. Patrick's Day people. Like, for most years, it goes by like almost unnoticed.
You wear green to school so you don't get pinched, and that's about it.
Right. But I was like, you know what? I'm really feeling like the spring, the like St. Patrick's Day stitch. So I was like going through looking for St. Patrick's Day stitches, and I really wanted the shamrocks. I was having fun with shamrocks because I've started doing a This Day in History board at my school for the high school kids, so they can walk by and see like, oh, on this day in history, one is like the Eiffel Tower was destroyed by Cobra. So you remember seeing G.I. Joe, right? With like Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
And Cobra destroys the Eiffel Tower. Aurora convinced me.
You just put that up there to see if your kids are reading it.
Aurora was shocked that I actually...
No, I think it's funny because then you're checking to see if your kids are actually
but
looking
like,
at
it's
it.
like, oh, you know, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated this day, or
World War II
like Monopoly
ended,
was
whatever,
patented, or things like I have my TAs help me, and so I was just all about like, I was having fun. I went and got some banners for the board. I cut out a bunch of shamrocks, and so I was like, all right, I want to do, and I fell in love with this little guy.
He is so cute.
So, and I just love Emily Call's patterns. So, and the fabric, it just is not, this light is, it's just not, it's not doing it.
It is such pretty fabric.
It's like a
it's
fresh,
a Lugana.
Yeah, it's a fresh green dyed.
And the colors from him look so cute.
So I'm a pot of gold away from
a finish.
And then I might even try and get them finished. If we do a finishing day, I might get them done before St. Patrick's Day.
You could leave it up all March though.
Yeah.
I know the people that do like St. Patrick's Day, they decorate for all of March.
Mom had it on hers, but she bought me this cute little needle minder from Cherry Hill Stitchery. And so I was like, it worked perfectly for like the March.
Yep. And rainbows and pots of gold and...
Yeah. So anyway, I had a new start, guys.
You had some finishes, starts, whips, progress.
Woohoo! I was a stitcher, guys. I actually stitched.
You're getting spring fever. Okay.
And then before we get into our haul, speaking of spring fever, and I might do a quick thing and come back like next week for this, and not do a full floss tube, but just a giveaway because while it's still spring. I was
1 week from today.
Yes.
Whoever's
so next Sunday.
Put in their info.
Yeah. So because I have a adoption rehoming project for you guys. I'm trying to rehome a project. So last year when I was still a new stitcher, I really liked this hands-on design, Let's Talk Spring. And I bought everything for it. I got the black fabric for it, and I was not liking the black fabric.
None of the suggestions made it easier for her to work on it.
I bought a light board for it. I did white paper under my lap. I just was not enjoying it. So I ended up getting this much done and basically called it quits. And I went to I took it out yesterday. I came over to Mom's house with all these, like, because one of your suggestions was
do it
on different fabric. And I saw some really pretty models of you guys doing it on like a neutral. And I realized like even some of the fabrics would have worked, but I'm just not feeling it anymore. Like I have no desire to really finish the stitch.
It's still a cute pattern.
Yeah, it's a cute pattern.
It's not your vibe right now.
Yeah, there's other things I want to stitch. So if you would like to adopt this beautiful project, I will give you the pattern, the fabric, and the floss, and I will send it your way a week from tomorrow. So a week from Monday. I'll come back on next Sunday, pick a winner, and as soon as you get me your mailing address, I'm on spring break. I can get it out like as soon as I get your information. So it's cute, it's adorable, and just not gonna finish it.
Lost all desire to do it.
Yeah, there's so many other things, especially with the Nashville Market coming out. There's a lot of things I want to stitch, and this just isn't it anymore. So if someone would please adopt my project, it deserves a good home.
Somebody that will actually do it.
Yeah. So
finish it.
If you're interested in adopting my project, just use the word spring in the comments. and I will pick a winner next Sunday.
Sunday the 16th. March 16th.
Yes, day before St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
And then I will get it out to you guys as soon as possible. And thank you for adopting my project. Spring. Use the word spring.
Spring, spring, spring.
Okay, so haul.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm claiming this is my haul. Mom kind of bought it for both of us, but I'm stitching it first.
We both fell in love with the pattern.
So Heart and Hand Blooming Tiny Town. I am coming at the spring stitching with a vengeance. Like, that's what I want to stitch. And that's why I pulled out the Let's Talk Spring. I love the colors in this. And so I'm stitching it first. But this came in the mail yesterday.
I got my poppies.
Yeah. So this came in the mail yesterday. I ordered the thread online for both of us at 123 Stitch last night.
And they get here pretty fast.
As soon as that comes in, this will be my next new start. So I'm excited about this. And then my other piece of haul, it goes with my little lucky leprechaun. We were at Hobby Lobby last night and we walked by the St. Patrick's Day stitching, which is already on sale.
Well, it's a week away, so
but I
want to get it off their shelves.
Like I said, I've been all about the shamrocks. I need to go get a shamrock shake. When I go get groceries today, I'll go get a shamrock shake. Julie, you want a shamrock shake?
That's a thumbs up.
Okay.
She's laying on the sofa trying to be quiet. Or sleeping. I'm not sure. It's Sunday.
She says hi. She's waving.
Oh, yeah. She is waving.
Anyway, so I found this and it was perfect. Mom's like, well, you better check the floss. This is why digital patterns are fantastic.
Because you know sometimes the greens can be totally different. Some are more blue-based. Some are more yellow-based. Some are really weird-based. So I wanted to make sure her flosses didn't clash.
So.
And the fabric and the floss are going to look great together. So that'll be the back of Lucky.
So I'm excited. I think I kind of want to do it as a flat with maybe a frame.
Okay, not a pillow.
Not a pillow.
Okay.
Kind of where like this will be smaller and then this will be bigger around
Didn't
it.
I see a box or something that you thought it would,
yeah.
And then you could put it up on one of your little display shelves? Yeah. Okay, so we need to find a box. It's roughly 6 by 6.
So that was my haul. It's more stitchy haul than I've had in a while, and I'm having fun stitching again. I've found some audiobooks I've been listening to, and I've been rewatching, I watched The Night Agent.
You said that was good. Yeah.
I really like that. And then I'll actually caught up on Flosstube, which we'll talk about after your haul. Okay. And
I have no books to report about because I'm reading, I'll let you know when I think of it. I'm not a fantasy reader per se. I've read, they might call it time traveling stuff, but it's more
magical realism, where it's like mostly real life with small magical elements.
It's like a historical fiction, like the whole, or time travel kind of thing, going back but learning about history for the most part. I haven't gotten into the whole fourth wing stuff. I'm almost scared to because I'm afraid once I start, then I won't be able to stop. But
come to the dark side.
One kept popping up, and so Heartless Hunter, it's called. Yeah. Somehow this one just kept popping up and I finally went, fine, I'll try it.
Are you liking it? Because
about halfway through and I haven't decided.
Okay.
I'm much more of a historical fiction, but it's a good story. I'm not saying it's not. I don't know if it'd not be one I reread, I don't think, but I think people that like the romanticities would like it. The Rome fantasy, whatever you call that stuff. Anyway, so my haul. So I got to go to the attic, and I bought a couple patterns there. I think I bought some more neutral linen, just like a creamy white, because they work like with I'm
joking.
I know. Robin Pickens things. It's always a good color, and I was starting to run low. So one of the patterns I bought was, I know, shocking, flowers. I really like, is this Puntini?
Yes. Puntini,
and the Crocette a Go-Go. Their styles I just love. And I saw this one with all the spring, the tulips and the flowers and the daisies. And so I'll probably be doing that one here fairly quick. And I found this. And then, guys, I'm not a sampler doer. I forgot to bring the sampler out. but I actually bought a sampler
Go get it.
pattern because it has a willow tree in it. It has a well.
Go get it. Go find it. We will pause. We can put together the videos. Go get it. I can stop it if you want, or I can just entertain the masses because I do have a book we can talk about.
Time out. Ready, set.
We've ever cut a video. Usually we just run through and you guys get what we get.
Yes.
I just realized there's a pause button that I could have actually hit pause instead of 2 different videos.
We probably need to learn to be fancier with this, but
I would love to get like an intro montage together.
Right now you're getting what you're getting. So, okay. So I'm sitting there waiting for everybody to check out, and in the attic, if you stand around more than a minute, you found something to look at, something you needed to add to your cart. I think all 3 of the girls that were there, plus me, went through the checkout twice because we kept finding one more thing. And I'm not a sampler person. They're beautiful. I have great respect for the history behind them, but they're just not my thing. Doesn't go with
usually it's the colors.
And I'm much more about the colors. But as I'm standing around, they had some samplers. They're highlighted samplers or something. And first of all, the pictures, I've always loved weeping willows. We had one in our backyard when I was a kid, and then one bad winter storm knocked it all over. And I just love weeping willows. But that was what really drew me was the saying. It said, "Dear old world, you are very lovely, and I'm glad to be alive in you." I just think that's kind of my life motto. It's, if you look for beauty, it's there, and it's gotten me through some dark days. And this one just really spoke to me, and all the little images that are in it. Anyway, so it's heartstringed samplery, and it's called Scenic Samples. But if you can see that, it's got a well, it's got some chickens, lambs. It's got anyway, just some cute things. And I thought, I think I can do this one. And so Emmy from Mission Stitch was there, and she said, "Yep, you need to do that one." So I don't know when I'll start it because I haven't gotten all the stuff for it yet. But I love it.
One of your other bigger ones before you start.
Yeah, I need to finish either Aphrodite or my pirate ship because I can't have 3 big ones going at the same time. That'll drive me insane. I just can't handle it. So anyway, I did buy a sampler, and then I bought the puntini flowers.
But you have 2 other pieces of haul too. One was a gift.
Okay, so with Nashville Needle Market, is that Nashville Needle Market? So there are just lots of patterns that were coming out, and I bought a few of them through Top Knot Stitcher. But of course, Robin Pickens has all kinds of cool designs that came out, and there's just one, I don't know why, it hit me big time. It's called the Madras Beanstalk. It's on a teal background, bright oranges, yellows, and I just fell in love with it. Well, Miss Emmy from Mission Stitch, they went to QuiltCon here in Phoenix, and they're texting me, "Amy, Robin Pickens is here." And it was like, oh my gosh, how wonderful. And she had the sample of this all done up in there. And I said, "Is it as beautiful as it looks?" And yes, it's gorgeous. And she's as sweet as they come. And you know how sometimes you meet people and they're not who you thought they were in real life, or, just you build them up, you think they're one way. And anyway, they loved meeting her. So when we went to dinner with them, Emmy goes, "Look what I got you, Amy." I'm so excited. So she got it a little bit earlier than I could have gotten it from StitchCon. So I am just beyond thrilled. And Emmy from Mission Stitch and I are going to do this together once the patterns come in and everybody can access it. And I've ordered the fabric. I pre-ordered the fabric that it calls for because I want this exact thing. So as soon as this all comes in, Emmy and I are going to reach out, get together, and decide a date that we're going to start this. If any of you guys want to do it with us, we're going to wait until everybody's had a chance to kind of get it. But it was one of the first things I pre-ordered. It was just, I don't know why it speaks to me. It's the colors, but I love it. So doing this, and one of the other patterns that I pre-ordered was the Ladybug by Hands On Design. Her little 3 3/4, 4 3/4 patterns. Anyway, the ladybug it's just adorable. And my youngest daughter, who's stretched out on the sofa, oh, nope, she's up. When she was a little girl, her name was Ladybug, because when the kids were little, Drew and I had gone through we had a pontoon boat, and we bought it when she was like 2 years old-ish. And so she needed a life jacket. Obviously, everybody needed a life jacket. And she fell in love with this life jacket that it was a butterfly, or it was a ladybug, and it had ladybug wings off the
whole back was the
back of a ladybug. And she just loved wearing that life jacket. And so she just started everybody started calling her Ladybug, and that's just been her nickname the rest of her life. And I like ladybugs, but this one, I just loved it. Now I want to do the bee now too, but so I've got the Ladybug on pre-order. But I don't know if you noticed, Fabrics by Stephanie did a special fabric just for that pattern for Hands-On Design, Kathy at Hands-On Design, and I had to have the fabric. Well, I thought I was going to have to wait for Nashville to get the fabric, but I ordered it on Fabrics by Stephanie website, and it came this week. And I'm telling you, it's even prettier in person than I thought it was going to be. It's kind of like a strawberry milkshake, but it's a little bit peachier, a little pinkier. It's like kind of
pepperminty, a dark peppermint pink.
Yeah, but it's kind of like between a pink and an orange. It's truly a corally, I think. And anyway, it's just gorgeous fabric. And so I'm so excited for everything to get here from Nashville Stitchers, because I think I ordered like 6 patterns, maybe more.
Which means we get 6 more patterns.
Yeah. So anyway, there are just some really cute ones out there, and
the whole Tiny
gorgeous
Modernist
samplers. Yeah, Tiny Modernist,
Night Garden
Hands-On Design, Emily Call, April. Why am I having
Crafty Blue Bonnet?
Crafty Blue Bonnet. They're birds. They're bird of the month thing. They're just some beautiful samplers out there. If I were a sampler person, I would be going nuts. I mean, they're just all kinds of neat, something for everybody. And I know, was it Puntini, I think, was actually at Nashville this week with a bunch of new stuff. Yeah, or one of the women from Italy, I think, that do really some pretty designs. Anyway, just so much to choose from this year. I'm really excited. Now, this is the first year I've really followed the Nashville Stitchery, so I'm sure it's like this every year.
We followed it last year.
I don't remember.
Okay, I followed it last year.
Yeah, I don't remember being so excited about it last year, but anyway, so that's enough of me.
And then update, retreat-wise, my brother is going to be getting deployed sometime around the August-July time frame, which means he will not...
6 months.
Yeah, so which means he will not be available over fall break when we were supposed to visit him in Connecticut.
And do the fall colors.
Yeah, so I'm really bummed because the town he lives in is...
adorable.
Like in the top 5, top 10 lists of like fall color places to visit. But to cheer ourselves up.
To mend our broken hearts.
We signed up for Stitch West, and
which
so
we're going to go to. We won't get in for Christmas either.
Yeah, but we're going to go to Stitch West. We got in, and it was just meeting so many fun people next year, last year, that we're excited to go again. And I was really sad that we weren't going to get to see some of those people this year. So now we're going to do Chantel's and
look at us go.
Stitch West, and my kids are going to wonder if they actually have a history teacher.
No, I'm really excited because then Robin Pickens will be at Chantel's, and then Tiny Modernist is doing the fall Stitch West.
So I hear like Stitch West has a waiting list. So if you're interested, that's something like watching Flosstubers, that like the Library Stitchers retreat, like people back out of
retreats because something
all
else
the time
comes up.
Because something comes up, life happens. Yeah. So if that's something you want, don't be discouraged by the waiting list. But we're excited for that, to get to see our buddies again and make new buddies, and because we have Stitchy friends now.
And to meet the Tiny Modernist. I love her colors. I love her design. So it's not for everybody, but that's the neat thing about retreats.
She just came out with that Snow White tray,
tier
tray.
Yeah.
Dude, if she ever comes out with a Little Mermaid tier tray, I am buying that thing so fast.
Your head will spin.
I don't know where I will put it. Probably in my study area, maybe in my bedroom. Hopefully, maybe by then I'll have a child and like I could, boy or girl, it's going in their room.
Yeah. No, life is good. Life is truly good.
And then, if you're looking for like a kind of romantasy, but kind of more epic fantasy, Daughter of No Worlds. If you are familiar with like the romantasy and have been following along, you might have come across like Serpent and the Wings of Night in that series. It's like a duology that just came out with like the third one for like a separate duology that's tied. Anyway, Carissa Broadbent is the author of that. And her original series, the first one is called Daughter of No Worlds. And it's a 3-part completed series. It was really well written and a really well told story. You know how when you're following a plot and you're like, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is going to be the plot twist. Nope. Like, she did a really good job of turning things in a direction you did not. And maybe I'm just a passenger princess. I am not someone that reads something and be like, oh, and gets all these theories. Like, I love listening to other people's theories. I am a passenger princess when it comes to reading. I'm just along for a good time in a story.
A good read, yep.
But I was like, okay, I think this is where it's gonna go, and it didn't. And all 3 books were just a really well told story.
So what was the series again, or the? A
Daughter of No Worlds, and they're all on Kindle Unlimited if you are a Kindle Unlimited person, and also the audiobooks are all included with your Audible membership. So that's part of what got me like able into stitching again. Is because I was able to listen to that. My brother was like, I was really impressed. Read like a 500-page book in a couple days. And I was like, well, when it's an audiobook. Yeah. Because I'll drive to work listening to it. I'll clean my house listening to it. So anyway. And then he challenged me to read Anna Karenina.
Yes. So his fiance comes from Russian background. Her mother is from Russia. And was giving Elizabeth, her name is Elizabeth, a hard time because she was reading these, what do you call them?
She just finished Throne of Glass.
Yeah, and she's been reading a ton of them, which her mother's thrilled that she's reading, and everybody's, anyway. So she challenged her, you come from a culture of great literature, which is true. She goes, I challenge you to read Anna Karenina. Now, I don't think that's how they pronounce it because they're Russian and they know correctly, but what in the Western world we call it Anna Karenina. So she started it, and then Oliver, to encourage her, said, well, if you read Anna Karenina, or she challenged him, while I'm reading this, you should read something by him too. So he goes, well, okay, I've always wanted to read War and Peace, which is one of the largest fiction books out there. And so I'll read World, but he goes, so what are you going to give me if I finish it? She goes, well, I'll take you out for dinner. And he goes, okay. He's easily bribed. Yeah. So and then he was talking to Allie on the phone, and
he reached out to me. Now, it doesn't come up very often, but like, cause I teach history now, I minored in English in college. Like I taught 5 years of English.
She actually thought she wanted to be an English teacher for a long time.
And I did honors English all through high school. So I was reading classic literature from the time I was a freshman in high school to senior in college. I get a text from him saying, have you ever heard of this book called Anna Karenina? It's the greatest novel ever written. Like, it's a romance, so I thought you might like it.
100 greatest usually.
And I was just like, I would have to have lived under a rock my entire life to have never heard of Anna Karenina. And I'm like, Keira Knightley was in a movie. It's probably been 10 years now.
But they've done a lot of.
Yes, I've heard of Anna Karenina. He's like, oh, well, I've been living under a rock because I'd never heard of it.
Well, it's a woman's book.
So then he was talking to Mom while she was figuring out about her kidney stones, and I was there with her, and he's like, I'm challenging you to read. And he'd kind of mentioned, oh, I thought you might like it. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's not one that I've ever really wanted to read. I'm not a depressing person reading. Like, if I know it's going to have a depressing ending.
And it does.
I'm not about it. But he challenged me.
She can't say no to a challenge from her brother.
I really can't say no to a challenge in general.
Yeah, that's our stubbornness.
So Mom had a copy. I started it that night. And then I found out that it's on Kindle Unlimited. And the audiobook is included on Audible. So I am now into part 2 of Mom's copy is in 2 different books, but I'm now into part 2, like the 3rd chapter of part 2. So I'm like 17% of the way through the story.
Yeah, so the bet's on who's going to actually finish and who's actually not going to be able to finish. Will Elizabeth, the question is, remember the soap operas way back in the day when they'd end every soap opera with, will so-and-so be reunited with their son? Anyway, so just kind of reminds me, so will Hallie actually finish Anna Karenina? Will Oliver manage to make it through a 1,500-page book without killing himself? Will Elizabeth be able to read Anna Karenina and be able to talk about it with her mom and bring them even closer together? Stay tuned for part next week when we will answer these questions.
Yeah, so I'm a little stretched thin in my like reading commitment because I'm reading the Let Them theory with she's a senior that I've had the last 2 years, but now she's my teacher assistant, so she comes in and helps me with stuff in class. Her and I are reading the Let Them theory together. I'm now reading Anna Karenina for that challenge, and I'm doing a Lent study with some of my friends.
And still trying to stay stitchy.
And staying stitchy, and trying to read other things. It hasn't happened last week, but...
All right, guys, tell us your favorite pattern thing or book, but especially pattern from Nashville Needlework that you're excited about seeing. Let us know what piece, if you've been paying attention, because I know it's not for everybody and that's okay. But if you've been paying attention and if you found a piece that you're really excited about, work, fabric, I don't care, share what the most excited thing is that you are, so you can enable Allie and I
and each other in the comments.
And each other.
Because we're really good at helping other people spend their money.
Yes. So enable us all to help
share
each
the
other.
patterns.
Yes, share the patterns. Share your favorite thing that you've seen so far from Nashville, whether it's fabric, whether it's floss, whether it's pattern. What are you most excited about from them? All right, are we all done? We all caught up?
Adoption. Yep.
Check, and check.
Yep.
All right, it's Sunday. It's a peaceful, restful day. I'm going to pull out my pirate and work on the mast. Ahoy, matey.
I'm going to make we're trying a new recipe tonight. It's like a lemon stuffed pasta shells with like a lemon basil sauce.
That sounds yummy.
So, here's
all
hoping.
right, guys. Have a wonderful, beautiful Sunday. Sorry for kind of an abnormal time, but my kidney stone kind of beat me up and it took me a few days to recover, just being tired and getting kind of feeling back to normal. So
it worked because now we're on spring break.
Yeah, so it works for her too. So
all right. Bye, guys.
Happy Sunday.
Happy
Bye.
Sunday. Bye.